Hey string techies, I miss seeing all your lovely faces and practicing technique together, but hopefully these videos will keep you going while we're all stuck inside. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to practice shifting using the Yost method. So the Yost system was published in 1928 in America by a man by the name of Gaylord Yost, undoubtedly the human with the best name in the history of Western civilization. And I'm not sure why this method isn't more commonly used. It's without a doubt the most physically constructive and helpful left-hand technique method I've ever come across. But for some reason, the book is a little hard to find. It does turn out that you can order Yost's various publications from his family trust, and there's a link below this video. And the trust website also has some interesting information about Yost. I was lucky enough to be given a copy of this book by one of my own violin teachers. So if you're a string techie, feel free to send me an email on my Goldsmiths email, and I'll gladly send you a copy so you can get going. Yost's original books were published for violin and are notated in the treble clef, but the method works equally well for lower strings and can be easily transposed. So I love this method because not only can it help us develop more solid shifting technique, but it can also help resolve a lot of issues surrounding tension and even pain in different parts of the whole body and playing apparatus. When I was a student, I had a lot of tendinitis related problems in both of my arms, but especially in my left hand, and that came from squeezing in this area of the hand, which a lot of us can probably relate to. And the Yost method was the main thing that helped me not only stop developing tension, but also resolve some of the injuries that I had. In the end, I was able to resolve my tendinitis through technique, good technique, not through sports medicine or massage or other kinds of treatment. So I think the Yost method is a really important part in playing with less overall tension. There are three main principles underlying the Yost method. The first has to do with when during playing we are the most relaxed. Now, I'm sure many of us know what it feels like to approach a big shift and get a bit stressed out. Oh no, it's coming up, I'm going to miss the shift. And this can make us squeeze the fingerboard as we shift out of reflex. So if this becomes a pattern, then the time we spend shifting becomes the time during playing when we are the most tense. Over years of playing, our bodies can learn this behavior until we need to squeeze when we shift in order to know our location along the fingerboard. So the first principle of Yost shifting is to reverse this pattern, to teach the body to need to relax during shifting instead of needing to squeeze. So instead of the most straining part of playing, shifting becomes the most relaxing part of playing. The second principle of Yost shifting is that we shift not from note to note, but from position to position. This approach is beneficial because it ensures that once we make a shift to a new position, the rest of the material that we play in that position is also secure. It also helps us to build a more stable knuckle bridge and use guiding notes in order to secure shifts. And this brings me to the third principle of Yost shifting, hearing our guiding notes. Yost is a whole body method that relies on listening to train the rest of our inactive physical body. Engaged listening is important to the effective use of this method. So to illustrate these principles more meaningfully, let me show you how the Yost shift actually works. Okay, so to illustrate the principle of relaxation with shifting, I'm going to use this truly hideous object. This is the stress banana, which some of my students will already have come across, which was a gift given by one of my nieces for Christmas several years back. It's made out of this squishy kind of memory foam gel material, and it feels really gross, but it gives a very good kind of exaggerated impression of the violin fingerboard. So I'm going to do a little demonstration. Imagine that I'm engaged in the string, and as you can see, I push into the substance here, and it gives way a little bit, just as a violin string actually does. Now, if I want to shift along this surface, but I don't release the engagement of the finger, then I get some resistance from the material. And if I'm trying to shift through resistance every time I make a shift, I'm going to develop tension in this part of the hand, which I think is something that's common among many string players. So in order to move along the surface of the stressed banana, what do I need to do? I need to disengage, and I need to flow along the surface without engagement, reach the point that I want to arrive at, and then re-engage. And this is the first principle of Yost. So as you can see, I'm going to engage my finger into the string, depressing the string, and then release, engage, release. And when I do my shift, I'm going to shift along the string, maintaining in contact, but without engagement, so the string isn't depressed. Once I've arrived at the place where I want to play the note, I'll re-engage. And from the other side, I'm going to engage, disengage, shift along the string without being engaged, re-engage. So this is the shape of the Yost shift. Let me show you what it looks like with the bow. So you'll notice that you can really hear my shift as I'm shifting. You hear a very specific sound. It's kind of like a whistly half harmonic sound. I call this the Yost ghost pitch. It means that I know that my finger hasn't lost contact with the string, and that as I shift back and forth between the starting pitch and the arrival pitch and back, I'm really testing the distance out and learning the distance between the two notes. It also means that I can hear the pitch that I arrive at before I re-engage my finger in the string. So this is enacting principle 3. It's using my ear to teach my body what the distance is. So to get used to the Yost ghosting, there's an exercise that you can do first, which doesn't involve shifting. It just involves staying on one node and practicing engaging and disengaging and re-engaging the finger. With this exercise, I'm really taking the opportunity to focus on differentiating between the feeling inside the tissues of my hand and down even into my wrist and forearm. How does it feel different when I'm engaged into the string and disengaged into the string? You'll also notice that I'm making sure that my thumb also disengages along with my finger. When I'm disengaged, my thumb muscles are disengaged. When I engage, then my thumb muscles provide just a little bit of resistance so that I can get my finger into the string without squeezing too hard. So once you've got used to engaging, disengaging, and hearing the Yost ghost pitch, you can get going on actually shifting between positions. And this little graphic that Yost provides gives an indication of exactly how this is done. So you can always make use of the guiding pitch that you can hear, because every Yost shift shifts from the finger that you just played to that finger in the new position. So I'll demonstrate this example here. Here we're shifting between first and third position. However, we're shifting from the first finger in first position on E to the fourth finger in third position on C. We're shifting by way of a guiding note that sounds as a Yost ghost note, and this is going to be the finger 1 in third position, G. On the way down, since we've left the fourth finger, we're shifting back down to that same finger in its position in first position, so on A, sounding like this. So you can hear that I'm really arriving over the arrival pitch, over the guiding note, before I re-engage with the finger. So I really hear it as a stable ghost note before placing either the 1 or the 4. I'm not creating like a little ramp into the guiding note. I'm really arriving, hovering, and then re-engaging with purpose. From this angle, you can really see the benefit of using the ghost pitch to shift from position to position. As I shift up from the 1 to the 1, my knuckle bridge experiences that contraction as the distances between the fingers become smaller. And as I shift down on the 4, you can see that my knuckle bridge is now expanding. So I'm really learning the relationship between each of the fingers in each position, as well as the relationship between the two pitches I'm shifting to and from. Notice also from that last angle how I'm really trying to take my thumb with me. So the thumb disengages and rides along the surface of the neck just as much as the finger rides along the surface of the string. So, like this. And what you find with Yost shifting is that actually the shift is not about anything that happens here in the hand. The hand is like a little sewing machine that just disengages and re-engages. It's actually this distance here between the forearm, and the bicep that expands and contracts while the finger re-engages in just a gentle rhythm. So just a few pointers to help make the Yost method more beneficial to you. First, this method is not about being fast. Increasing the speed of these shifts shouldn't be the primary goal. Rather, getting really interested in all the different sensations within your body and feeling more aware of the body, the different areas in the body, and how they're affected by shifting is really crucial. Second, it's not important to get to the end of an entire line or to complete an entire finger pattern. More important is to maintain a very deep, whole body focus while you're practicing these shifts. Many repetitions will allow little differences to emerge that can tell you something about what's going on while you're shifting. Finally, left-hand fingers aren't the only important part of shifting. Paying attention to changes in sensation in the tissues in your wrist, forearm, upper arm, shoulder, neck, and jaw can give you information and help you develop a more fluid shifting technique. So I hope you find this video helpful and enjoy exploring the Yost method. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. And if you would like a copy of the score of the Yost method, please give me an email and I'll get a PDF copy to you right away. Happy practicing!